113. So spake he, and all kept silence. And Alcinous alone answered him, saying, Stranger, forasmuch as these thy words are not ill taken in our gathering, but thou wouldest fain to show forth the valor which keeps thee company, being angry that yonder man stood by thee in the lists, and taunted thee, in such sort as no mortal would speak lightly of thine excellence, who had knowledge of sound words. Nay, now, mark my speech. So shalt thou have somewhat to tell another hero, when with thy wife and children thou suppest in thy halls, and recallest our prowess. What deeds Zeus bestoweth even upon us from our fathers' days even until now. For we are no perfect boxers nor wrestlers, but speedy runners, and the best of seamen. And dear to us ever is the banquet, and the harp, and the dance, and the changes of raiment, and the warm bath, and love and sleep. Lo, now arise, ye dancers of the Phaeacians, the best in the land, and make sport, that so the stranger may tell his friends, when he returneth home, how far we surpass all men besides in seamanship, and speed of foot, and in the dance and song. And let one go quickly, and fetch for Demodocus the loud lyre which is lying somewhere in our halls. So spake Alcinous the godlike. And the henchmen rose to bear the hollow lyre from the king's palace. And then stood up 9 chosen men in all, the judges of the people, who were wont to order all things in the lists aright. So they levelled the place for the dance, and made a fair ring and a wide. And the henchmen drew near, bearing the loud lyre to Demodocus, who gat him into the mist. And round him stood boys in their first bloom, skilled in the dance. And they smote the good floor with their feet. And Odysseus gazed at the twinklings of the feet, and marvelled in spirit. Okay, well, I think we're seeing diplomacy in action here with Alcinous recognizing the social tension that has arisen and basically redirecting that nervous tension into something positive, saying, let's stop talking about sport and give this good man, our suppliant, something to write home about. We're going to show him that not only are we super good with the oars on the water, which we have yet to see, but also we're skilled at dance. We're super fast, yes, of course. But let's not prove that. Let's prove what we can do through dance. And so Alcinous is kind of deflating the confrontation, and Odysseus kind of moves out of the center of attention and becomes an observer, and one that seems to be in awe of what he's seeing. That last line there of him watching the dancers, Odysseus gazed at the twinklings of the feet and marveled in spirit. I think the Phaeacians know a thing or two about being fleet of foot. The Phaeacians, get it? Feet? Because I put feet in Phaeacians. Been trying to zoom out of this story a bit just to kind of take the entire Odyssey as we've read it up to this point in context. And I do find it interesting that the land of the Phaeacians, Alcinous and his hosting duties here, they do stand in contrast a bit to Nestor and Menelaus, which those were halls filled with seriousness, it felt like. Yes, there was a wedding happening, but so much of it was nostalgia and grief and remembrance. And here, even though there was a little bit of conflict and tension, everything is just kind of lighter energy. Odysseus is the one that's kind of anchoring everything. And let's not forget either that Alcinous and Arete, the whole crew, still don't know who Odysseus is yet. That has to come at some point, right? I mean, when they've hosted him enough, they can then ask him his story, his name, find out who he is. Is that forthcoming? We'll find out, I guess. That is all I've got for today, but it is the middle of the chapter, and since it is supporter month, I just want to remind all of you that you can go over to patreon.com/gruntworkpod for this month only, the month of May 2026. You can sign up for free and get access to everything we've ever done on the podcast network, and I believe by now, some of our bonus content for this show has started to come out. the Life of Theseus series that I'm doing in partnership with Movie Memory Machine. Well, the bonus content isn't, but we did the crossover episode of The Immortals from 2011, which stars Theseus, and I thought I'd put that character through the ringer and do a mini-series where I talk about the life of Theseus through the original texts in which he appears. So, the library of Apollodorus, Ovid, Plutarch, and a number of other sources of original myths I've used to compile his life story. So if that sounds of interest to you, you can go over to patreon.com/gruntworkpod, sign up for free, and start listening. So until tomorrow, when we cross the halfway point of Book 8, until then, okay, goodbye. Odyssey is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. The show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Odyssey, written by Homer. Theme song by Neuroflow. You can support this show and other shows like it by going to patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.